Have you always prioritized your mental health?
No. Oh, no. I used to always prioritize my music.
Okay.
Because I thought that prioritizing music was prioritizing my mental health.
Yeah, and that is actually for a lot of people. So kind of unfold that a little bit.
Yeah, because creative people, people with a strong creative drive, we think that whatever that is that's driving us
is fueling you.
Is fueling you.
Yeah.
And it's always, I think there's a balance that when we get off, it's just like we're feeding what our mind craves.
My name is Tiffany Whitlow, and this is Now Included Unfiltered.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It is an honor to be here. Tell our audience a little bit about who you are. Tell us about who you are. If you remember who you are?
Do I remember who I am? Yeah, it's fleeting sometimes. Yes, I am a music producer. I've been a music producer for about 30 years now. Wow. So yeah, that means my 20th birthday, I just got to yesterday.
Wow. Wait, what?
Yeah, joking.
I was going to say happy birthday, anniversary, work anniversary, all the things.
No. So 30 years in music, and started as a musician, playing in church, playing in jazz clubs, high school band, jazz band, and Alabama A&M. Played sousaphone.
Okay,
played
the Alabama A&M. Okay, we keep coming back to A&M in that hill.
Yeah, it's So it's been a journey. It's been a journey for the past 30 years. Just kind of watching how things change with technology, and things change with just how you make music, and it's just trying to hold on to all of that and stay on that train. It's mentally can be a challenge.
Yeah. Have you always prioritized your mental health?
No. Oh, no. I used to always prioritize my music.
Okay.
Because I thought that prioritizing music was prioritizing my mental health.
Yeah, and that is actually for a lot of people. So kind of unfold that a little bit.
Yeah, because creative people, people with a strong creative drive, we think that whatever that is that's driving us
is fueling you.
Is fueling you.
Yeah.
And
take one and know one.
Okay. And it's always, I think there's a balance that when we get off, it's just like we're feeding what our mind craves. And I think that would be in any scope of our health. If we just keep eating what we crave, there's going to be some sort of detriment.
Yeah.
And so creatively just running after that thing or chasing that ambition. Sometimes it's not ambition, it's just a passion just for wanting to get something out of your head or solve a problem. I'm a big time problem solver. I love solving problems.
Okay.
But when you get out of balance with that, and it's just like, I'm tired. And now why can't I solve a problem today?
Yeah.
I could do it yesterday.
Oh, so the mental fog and the drain kind of kicks in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and then that just kind of wears on you the morale of you being a creative. It's like, well, I was able to do this 10 years ago. Why can't I do it now? And for 10 years, you've been running on what you thought was fuel, and it was just the fumes. So, yeah. You were actually on E.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take me through this journey a little bit. So over the period of time, you went to Alabama A&M. I know what it's like to have young, broke college students. And then to be in music, I mean, there's a lot of people who are struggling for the gigs, struggling to find that opportunity. So did you have this period of life where you probably were not eating well, you were eating fried foods, having to do whatever you could afford at that time? And at what period did you say my eating habits have to change?
Well, it's crazy. Yeah, like again, when music was the thing that you're chasing, everything else was just like subsequent.
Okay.
Well, whatever I can do to get to my next point so I can make music. So then your food you're grabbing is quick. It's fast. It's not a nutrient-rich food. It's just getting from one place to the next. But what's crazy, when I started working out, it was a lot sooner than for most people, but like in the late 90s, I started working out in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Or in the California area with Raphael Saadiq. He was
Okay.
one of my big mentors. And at the time, he was really, really into mental health. And, it was California, the disparity of California health and the eating and all the places you can go to eat versus here in North Alabama, it's a vast difference.
Yeah.
And so I remember just going
we're
out.
getting better, right?
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah. I'm going to keep hope alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would just be in these spaces and I'm watching what people are eating. Growing up in the South as a kid, I kind of lean towards now a plant-based, diet. But then growing
Those
up,
Sunday dinners. Those Sunday
on
dinners.
Sunday, well, them Wednesday dinners, the Thursday dinners, it was all of the above because it just wasn't something we were checking on. And then I started going and being in the spaces of working with these other, artists, celebrity artists, and I'm watching what they're eating, and they're talking about it's a totally different language when it came around food.
Yeah. Because they see food as fuel.
As fuel.
Yeah.
And so where the lifestyle was so demanding, and I'm like, yeah, no wonder my mental, I'm so foggy mentally, and not really knowing that. And so, they actually would, kind of pick on me, like, man, what are you eating?
Yeah.
What is that you eating that every day?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So that's my cheat meal.
My cheat meal, right. And so I started learning very, very quickly, like, yeah, this is something I can probably adapt to. And then, but like anything, you don't have a palate for that healthy food at first.
Yeah.
Like you're disrupting something.
Yeah.
It's like, this don't taste
You
like.
really want that French fry.
Yeah, this doesn't taste like fried chicken. This doesn't taste like greasy. This ain't greasy enough. And so after a while, you do, acquiring a palate for it. And it's like, you know what, this is, and then you start seeing the changes. Then it becomes easier. And then the bad stuff is bad now.
Yeah.
That used to be good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can fuel your body by eating better, of course. How are you fueling your mental health? Because for me, I would honestly say music actually plays into the way that I fuel my soul, which I correlate with my mental health. Like if I'm having a rough day or going through a bad period, I can put on music and it makes me feel a certain way. The same reason that people might put on music to go to sleep or to listen to some noise and some rhythms while they go to sleep. So how are you fueling yourself with music? Because it's your work, it's your day to day, it's what you're giving and literally producing.
I like to play.
Yeah, how are you doing that?
You know what's crazy? Most people think because they see the musical output that I have, with all the artists, I think especially for the past 6 years, they see the Grammy nominations and the wins, and they see me working with this artist, and it's a constant post on Instagram or Facebook about, hey, excited about working with this artist, and But what's crazy, I would say the majority of my day is this, what we just listened to, nothing, Or it's either podcast, it's either something, because again, now I'm still feeding. And I learned somewhere in the middle of it, it's like, you know what, I probably need to, I put a lot of space and time into this music, I've done my quote unquote 10,000 hours with that. But when it comes to self-development, so I'm listening to a lot of podcasts. I'm watching a lot of podcasts, now included.
Okay.
Including now included.
We appreciate it.
And so I realized that when it's time for me to make music, it's a lot less effort.
Okay.
Because of where my mind and my brain is creatively, the space. And so now when I am listening to things, which is a point that I'm glad you brought up, that was one of the things when because creatives, we have a tendency to not know when to cut the creativity off. Like it just keeps going past the marker.
I know.
Past the point, it's like, okay, because I try to set these boundaries, with family, just say, okay, I'm working Monday through Friday. And when I work Monday through Friday, at this time, I'm stopping to have dinner with my wife, and I'm not going to work. I'm not going to think about work. We're not going to talk about it. And maybe when she falls back asleep, I may go back to work.
Your social posts seem like you are able to cut that off and prioritize those things.
Yeah. But what I wound up developing is that when I was trying to sleep, I was still hearing music. I was still hearing the ideas like, oh, I can do this, and
you're not the only person who can't turn their mind off at night.
Yeah. Exactly. So I started listening. My wife bought me a white noise machine.
Okay.
And because I told her I went to New York, and in almost all of the hotels that I were in New York, they had the white machines built into the room. I said, yo, baby,
You were in them good hotels.
those record labels was playing for some good hotels,
okay.
yeah. And I'm like, man, this is like, wow, the noise from outside. I could still hear something, but the noise from outside was masked. And so I told her about it. And so I think for a Christmas gift, she bought me a white noise machine. And it was great. And then I remember one day I forgot it. I used to pack it, put it in my bag and travel with it. But I said, you know what? I just needed to, maybe I can just develop something, you know? And so 2023, I developed a project called REST. It's aid for helping people.
Stand for something or rest?
Yeah, REST. Yeah.
Okay.
And so REST is, you know what? I ought to make it stand for something. I'm gonna figure that out.
No. Rest means rest.
Rest means
no,
rest.
no.
But 2023, I came up with a project. It's very, very short songs that you can kind of listen to on repeat. It's like a 20-minute album, which you can listen to it on repeat. And it's just me, you know, playing the piano, just very, very mindless kind of noodling. But people will call me and say, you know, I listen to this every day
Oh, wow.
to go to sleep. And so, and this was before the white noise machine. So I was like, I wonder if there's a way to blend the two. So I came up with an app called the REST app that will be dropping soon.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, how do people sign up?
So you can go to my website, or my Instagram page has a link in the bio.
Okay.
You can join the wait list and be one of the first.
Okay. We're going to have to share that.
Yes,
Okay, that's
yes.
cool.
And so it's a mixture of the white noise sounds, the brown noise. People don't know a lot about brown noise.
What's a brown noise?
It's a deeper sound than a white noise. White noise, for lack of a better term, sounds a little bit more like a
You're like a fan.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a brown noise is more like I remember growing up sleeping to a box fan.
Okay.
Fan would be in my grandma's house, would be in the window.
Okay.
It was very much that sound. Those sounds are very comforting when you hear that in just a steady tone. So you have white noise, green noise, pink noise.
What is a green noise?
Green noise is a little bit more for clarity. It's not as deep as brown noise, you know. And when you listen to the app, you'll hear the different sounds, and it kind of explains in the app. But you have white noise, pink noise, brown noise, green noise. They're all different types of noises. And what's crazy, I found out about those noises was because we would test audio equipment with those noises.
Oh.
And so, but then scientifically, we found out that these noises are healing.
Oh, wow.
So mixing those with the music, mixing that with affirmations from me, I'm speaking to you while you sleep,
wow.
you know, giving you positive stuff to think about. So. So it's
now my creative juices are flowing, and I have an idea for you for kids.
Yeah.
But yes, okay, great.
We'll do a whole other podcast about it.
Right. I'm like, no, I mean, as a mom, the second time around, it's really important for me to give Ace words of affirmation.
Yes.
And I buy books. Literally, he has a words of affirmation book.
Yes.
And I want him to publish a book as well.
Awesome.
But we have a machine. We play an owl machine every single night. But I wonder, like, if you sold this to those companies who are pushing out those noises now, but then taught kids about what these various noises are, so that they actually can understand. Maybe even more people will be driven to entertain music.
Yeah,
as a field.
Yeah.
So
some people, I remember going to, I had a friend, he worked at a computer store here in Huntsville. And every day that I went into the store, he knew that I was a musician. He knew that I was an acclaimed musician. And so that's where I used to go get my computer fixed and all this sort of stuff. And I used to talk to him. And he was always like really bought into my music. So I just thought he was a musician. We would talk about all the techie stuff. And so I remember one day I did a record with Eric Clapton, a Christmas album, a Christmas song with Eric. Me and Anthony Hamilton wrote two songs for Eric Clapton.
Is it one of my favorites?
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
What?
And so he asked me at the time. He said,
he was here. He sat in this chair.
He sat in that very chair.
Oh, okay.
She's arrived, y'all.
Yes, I have arrived.
Yeah.
I did pay a lot of money for his VIP meet and greet and got a picture, but anyways.
I can fix that. I can fix that. I can fix that. I can make it more than. All right, but anyway, I'm back on topic. But I remember speaking to the guy, and he was like, "Hey, what have you been working on musically here lately?" And I was telling him about the Eric Clapton song. I said, you should check it out. And he's like, about that. And this is a 5 or 6 year relationship at this point. He's like, yeah, about that. My autism is such that music, like, is very, very, gives me a lot of angst. It's like, I don't listen to music. And so for 6 years, we've been having a conversation about my musical endeavors, and we talk about it at length. But I realized we only talked about the tech side, the keyboards and the instruments and things. But the type of music that he made wasn't music, it was just sounds. And so that was just always very intriguing to me, and how it was very therapeutic for him to just make sounds, but with musical equipment, but it wasn't the music that we, with a melody and a chorus and a bridge and singing.
I had no idea. I had no idea. Like, that's crazy. I know for me, it is very healing. I mean, it sets the tone. Like, music sets the tone. So setting the tone, what's setting the tone here in 2026? Like, what are you most excited about? What have you done recently? I mean, I'm not going to say any names, but I'm going to let you say the names.
Yeah. Well, for the past 6 years, starting in COVID was a very, very difficult time for musicians and creative people, because we had to figure out everything, refigure out everything. And going into 2020, I said, you know what? I'm going to just drop performing, gigging. I'm going to stick solely into songwriting and producing. And so I made a decision December 2019. COVID came in February, I think, of 2020. And I was like, okay, it's like God said, I'm making a decision for everybody. You're not the only one that's not going to be performing. No one's going to be doing it.
Wow.
But what was crazy, so all of the artists that I was aspiring to work with, they had to rethink it too. And J. Cole was one of those artists.
Oh, wow.
And we did a song in June or July of that year called Snow on the Bluff. That's the first song I did with him. It was more of a social justice song. It was social media.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Aiming directly at what was going on at the time. And I didn't talk to him actually at all until the October of the same year.
Wow.
So we worked, but it was remotely.
Wow.
Through managers and and friends and things of that nature. And then in October, it's like, man, I really would love to work with you. Once everything open backs up, I don't know what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
But I'm building a studio in my home.
I have to now. Did you already have this here prior to COVID?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, I had this here. Yeah, this has been here since 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, and so and we just started working, and we've been I thought it was just a regular workflow. I'm just locking in with an artist. Wound up being the Fall Off project that he just released this year.
Wow!
So,
Congratulations! That's so exciting. That's so exciting. So what else is on the horizon?
Yeah, I mean, it's, with this music industry stuff, it's always just, I don't want to say shots in the dark, but it really is. I mean, for the past 30 years, I've been doing this since 96.
Wow.
And it's really just, you have more calculated shots as you get older and start doing things. And then you start noticing too, it's like, I'm not even shooting in this area because I don't even want to have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
That bothers my mental health.
Yeah.
That
person, those
that
decisions.
person, the work environment, So the reasons why and the choices that I make are based around, what really feeds me as a person. And so it's kind of a little less shots in the dark, but still shots in the dark. I don't know what's going to land and what's going to hit.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you unfolding a little bit about who you are, what you're working on, how exciting it is, teaching me about green noise, pink noise, brown noise. Where was I supposed to learn this in life? And, you just said something really interesting, and you were like, you really focus on what feeds you. So how do you focus on your health? Like, are you, health in general is going into an area like AI and everything else where everything is more predictive.
Yeah.
And we're going to an area where you have to be more preventative.
Yeah.
And I know, especially in the Black community, for a long time, people weren't going to the doctor until you had a problem, which is why we started the company in the first place. Because we think people should be taught how to prioritize their health sooner in life.
Yeah.
And we should do our part to make sure that drugs that are created are as effective as possible.
Right.
And so through everything that you're working on, all of the fancy hotels with all of the white, brown, pink noises that you have in your hotels.
All right. There.
And, you know, everything else, how are you prioritizing your health? Are you getting screened? Are those things important to you? Is your wife telling you to go to the doctor and you're not actually going? Like, how's that?
You know, my wife is an advocate. You know, when I met her, she was working in the health care, industry. And she was like, oh, we're not getting married unless you go to the doctor. Your teeth are going to be clean and fixed. Everything.
Your teeth are clean. Your teeth look good.
Thank you. I just left the dentist yesterday. So that's
okay.
perfect timing for this podcast. But no, she's a big advocate for that. You know, because for years, you know, as a musician, you know, I'm self-employed. So
you couldn't afford it.
Yeah, so you have to be preventative. You know, and knock on wood, if there's some around here, there's plenty of wood around here. It's woodworks.
Yeah. Hey.
But yeah, you just have to, you really prioritize it because I can't afford to get sick.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning it was like I can't afford to get sick because I would be not working. You know, now it's just, I just can't afford to sick because people are dependent on me. My family depends on me. My community, you know, needs to see me healthy.
Yeah.
I have a purpose in life and I can't fulfill that purpose.
Sick.
You know, sick.
Yeah.
It's before everything. You know, I'm usually calculating. I remember when I was younger, just work. And just work until you get tired. Now I'm just like, okay, I got to stop at this time because I got to get this many hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And it's so important.
Yeah.
I have to drink this much water today. You know.
Oh, you're that thoughtful. You can add that in the rest app.
Yeah.
How much water do you have?
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh.
It's in there.
Oh,
It's
okay.
in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways that people are prioritizing their health. I continue to interview people and ask, and they're often saying that a female loved one, it could be their mom, it could be their aunt, it could be a sister, it could be often a wife, is the one driving their healthcare decision making. But it's really also because men are usually at the top of the household having to provide and make sure everyone's okay. And even if you're not providing financially, you're providing in that way that matters the most to be able to drive the family forward. So, I mean, I'd love to hear a little bit about, to learn a little something, you know, behind the scenes, because I see a lot of buttons and a lot of keys and a lot going on.
Kids love this place because they see all these buttons and lights and they're a little daunting. It's like, wait a minute, wait a second. And then about 5 minutes in, they press every single button. And the moms are like, don't touch that. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. That's exactly how I learned. Going into the music store, touching every button, I said, this is what makes this do what it does. So.
Yeah, I looked over there and I was like, yeah, that is more my style if I had a style, because I can only handle that many keys. That's it right there. I'll be a consumer, and it's okay, because we can't all do everything.
Yeah.
We can't all do everything.
This podcast is brought to you by Acclinate's Now Included community.
Get trusted resources backed by medical pros for your health. Tap into real experiences from people who look like you and find a safe place for your story. Walk into a space where being you is celebrated and find your power. Your health, your story, your power.
Hello, I'm Kelvin Wooten, CEO of Waterworks. Our passion, it's simple, to champion musical talent and innovation, especially within our minority communities. But the path to musical excellence comes with challenges. Inspired by my journey in the music industry, Waterworks is proud to introduce our scholarship program. Every year, we'll award scholarships to 3 deserving minority students. Your support can light the way for these extraordinary talents. Join us at the Waterworks Scholarship Fund.
Wow. All right. Tell me what I'm looking at.
So right now, in this part of the studio, you are in what they call the console room, because this room houses the console, or the control room.
Okay. It definitely looks like it's controlling a lot.
Controlling a lot, yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, we're here in my house, so this space is very much built around how I create. So I kind of swivel and pivot around.
Okay.
You know, I run to this, like my guitar pedals, my feet go here, and and have everything kind of close by. Most of the time when you're in the
Thought I
control.
was in a cockpit or, something like that. So,
Quick note, if you watch some space age movies, like sci-fi movies, and they'll have like these gear in the back with all these knobs, I've looked and there was musical equipment.
see,
not really-
I am
yeah,
here. Wait,
yeah.
did that just move on its own?
Yes, it's all automated based on whatever song I pull up. Yeah. So this can control, if I go here, I can control this, that fader, but it also, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought I was used to like the old school. I don't want to touch anything, break anything. But yeah, the old school, like where you had to move it.
Yeah, so I kind of, all of my instruments, I have another room that has like my drums. They all feed into this room. This is where it all starts and stops.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know I can't be the only person who doesn't know much about music. How are you investing in the future of music?
Oh, that is a great question. So, I grew up in the era of music where, I'm of that hip hop generation. I guess I will be considered an OG.
Okay.
And a lot of the OGs complain about how the music sounds today, how the
Okay.
hip hop doesn't hip hop like it used to. But, I feel like there's a good point to argue and a good point to complain on if you are investing into the future of it. And so the one thing is, if you see a problem, try to solve it.
Okay.
And one of the things I've done is try to give some sort of funds to kids that want to pursue music.
Okay.
I didn't go to school and college for music, and I wish I did. I mean, I was on a tuba scholarship at A&M.
Wow.
That was kind of my entryway.
Wow.
And I was always around the music building, which is probably why I wasn't a good computer science student. But
You made it. It's okay. It's okay.
Some way I figured my way out of school. But yeah, just to offer kids an opportunity.
So you have a scholarship.
Yeah, a scholarship. It's the Woodwork Music Scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do people enter? When are the funds distributed? How does that work?
So every year, the scholarship is open. The scholarship opens from February all the way into July of every year.
Okay.
Donors can donate 24/7. It's evergreen as far as them donating. They can, but students have that time to apply, and we have 3 scholarships that we give. And so it's grown. So because the donors, I had one very, very famous anonymous donor that just funded my whole scholarship for this year.
Wow.
So we're able to double the amount.
Yes. Won't he do it? Yes.
Yeah, won't he do it? Yeah, so,
Truly.
yeah. So for Black, Indigenous people of color,
Okay.
the scholarships are specifically for
And are
those.
these for college students? These are people entering college, or can I apply in high school? Like who's?
You can apply high school going to college.
Okay.
You can be in college. You
Okay.
can be in your junior year and it's like, I need to graduate. I need some more money. Yep.
And is there something for someone like yourself there who isn't studying music but wants to pursue music?
So these would be for students that are studying music.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
These for ones that have a passion and want to have a career in music.
And that is the background, but you don't have to be at an HBCU. You
Don't
can
have
be
to
at a PWI.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can be at
Okay.
a PWI. You could, as long as, and it could be in you can be studying voice. You can be studying this aspect of it, the recording part of it.
The engineering side of it?
Yeah, there's so many different
Oh,
facets
wow.
of, you can learn just this. You can learn the process of songwriting. You can learn music law, entertainment law.
Oh,
So
I didn't even think about that, but yeah,
exactly. So
that's there too.
It's open for and available for all of those people. Yeah.
Okay, no, I love that. I love that you're reinvesting back into not only the future, but I mean also something that sounds very passionate to you.
For sure.
And you probably see yourself in that need and say, okay, hey, I want to meet that need right where it is. How is it really doing all of this in your community?
How is it for me? It's wonderful. My studio used to be in the city. I took it out of the city and put it in my home.
Yeah,
Because home is my community.
yeah,
And this community that feeds me, and this community that I want to invest in as well.
yeah.
And
I mean,
so-
and to invite people in your home, right? I mean,
Yeah.
people are coming. Who's coming here? Are you
Yeah,
recording
the
here?
artists are coming here.
Wow.
We mentioned J. Cole. We
Yeah.
worked on a project for Summer Walker.
Oh, wow.
He came in, flew in,
And
flew out.
came here.
Yep. Anthony Hamilton is a very, he has a room here.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Wow, wow. I'll be knocking at the door. Yes, no, I love that you open your real home up, because I think it also goes back to something else that you've mentioned about just being selective about who you work with.
For sure.
Not every party is for everybody, and truly, I think this is just another way to exemplify things like that. So, I mean, major kudos. Like, I'm excited. I think, you know, for a long time, I told our producers that we needed a song. We needed a theme song. I think we're gonna have to work on something. We're gonna have to get something together. For sure. I might know a guy now.
Yeah, you know, I think I do too. He's very close by.
I know. No, I just thank you so much. I'm humbled. I really appreciate you opening up your home, you sharing your story. I mean, Grammys, not once, not twice, but 3 nominations, 1 win. And I mean, that's just the beginning. So we're here now. You have a whole nother community championing you on.
I love
We're already enjoying your music. We didn't even know. We didn't even know. We didn't even know.
Thank you for listening to Now Included Unfiltered. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give us a follow and leave a 5-star review. We'll see you next week.